All right, YouTube, what is going on? It is Zaya here from Zaya&TheSteelers back with another post-game reaction, and we are back with another W. Shout out to Mason Rudolph, shout out to the running game, shout out to the offensive line as the Pittsburgh Steelers were able to come away with a W against the Seattle Seahawks. For the second week in a row, we have put up 30 points, and honestly, man, I'm starting to feel a way about this team. So if you guys are Steelers fans or you enjoy NFL content in general, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you end up liking this video. We are on the road. We are nearing the end of the season. Are the Steelers going to make the playoffs? I don't know. I don't think it's like out of the question for us to make the playoffs, but I do think we're peaking at the right time and there is still a chance. I believe we of course need to beat Baltimore next week, and then we need a loss from I think the Bills or Jaguars or something like that. I'm not sure at this current moment because it just switches. The game just ended. I'm kind of in the moment right now, kind of just right at the end of it. Look at this throw, man, from Mason Rudolph to George Pickens. Like, are you kidding me right now? What a story this has been. And honestly, I know all of the talk is going to be about most likely the Mason Rudolph versus Kenny Pickett situation, but it's really just about how well we've been able to run in the run game, man. So I had this Jaylen Warren run up here. This, of course, was not the only run of today. This, of course, maybe not even is the best run of the game because we had Naj going off, we had Jaylen going off. Both of them, I believe, over 100. Naj, I believe, with 2 touchdowns, could have been 3 touchdowns. Jaylen had his own touchdown. Mason Rudolph was doing some tush-push quarterback sneaks. Like, we're just a running football team. And predictions-wise, I know everybody, this was like, in everybody's head. We were supposed to be a running team all year. What we're seeing right now, it was supposed to be happening this whole time. Now, of course, we started out the season with things like Broderick Jones not playing, Chakuma being at right tackle, Dan Moore at left tackle. Now we have Broderick at that right tackle spot. And on some runs, like you can really see it, Broderick is out here pancaking people. Of course, we have Darnell Washington as well, who was out here with the run blocking support. Pat Freiermuth is doing his thing in the run blocking support. And then lastly, we talked about this situation, man. George Pickens out there blocking for Jaylen Warren. You absolutely love to see it. These are the keys. This is how we are good. And this is how a quarterback, no offense to Mason Rudolph, but we bring in Mason Rudolph and look at what we're doing. Like, we just needed somebody to hit the passes, man. And granted, we had Mitch, we had Kenny, we had, even Ben at some points get it. Ben used to do the hurry up offense, pick his own plays, and then all of a sudden we were good again. But, for the most part, Ben wasn't exactly lighting up the scoreboard. Like, we've been waiting for us to be able to figure it out. And Mason Rudolph, I just said, maybe he's not the best quarterback ever, but Mason Rudolph, shit, he might be better than Kenny. He might be better than Mitch. And he might be better than, a 45-year-old Ben Roethlisberger after 2 games, man, because we are rolling. We have put up 30 points back-to-back, like I've said. Honestly, this game, granted, our defense was not, not the greatest. We had some turnovers. TJ was doing his thing. Nick Herbig, shout out to him for getting a sack. He was doing his thing. But the defense, was kind of, with injuries and stuff like that, it's kind of just sus right now. It's kind of just, it's kind of about the offense, really. These past two games have been all about the offense. And I mentioned the postseason. I mentioned, maybe we can sneak into the playoffs. I'm starting to think, man. I'm starting to hope. I'm starting to think. I'm starting to be like, all right, the Dolphins, we just seen them get smacked by Baltimore, who, by the way, we beat, Big Kenny Pickett beat. But are they just going to stomp us? Once again, I know our defense isn't really, playing the best, but at this current juncture, at this current point in time, I'm thinking to myself, if we make the playoffs, like, is our defense going to be able to hold up? And that is because for 2 straight weeks on offense, we are running the hell out of the football. We have 2 Hall of Fame, all pros, top 1, top 2, first ballot running backs. Our line is it's coming together. The cohesion is great. Mason Rudolph is doing his thing. Our offense is moving. It's beautiful to watch. We've been waiting. You've seen the thumbnail on this video. Like, they put up a graphic of, like, Mason had, like, 250. Naj had, like, 102 touchdowns. George Pickens with a touchdown and, like, 100 yards. Actually, I don't think... Did George Pickens get a touchdown today? I'm not exactly 100% sure. But I know Pickens had a stellar game in the pass-catching department. I know he was eating. He had that deep ball that Mason threw to him. That's actually what I started the video with. There was this play right here. Shout out to the audio. There was this play right here out of Mason Rudolph. This right here is a great throw, and then George Pickens reels it in. He's been making plays like this all season, and all we got to do is throw the ball to him, man. And all we got to do is be able to complete these passes when they're needed, when they're necessary. and when we need to take shots, because for the most part, we are going to run the ball for 70% of the time. And if it's working, if it's clicking, if we look like this, it's hard for me not to imagine Mason Rudolph, Najee Harris, Jaylen Warren, Kenny Pickett too. You know, Kenny's still on the roster. He's not active. He's still on the roster. But if we win the Super Bowl, that's a Super Bowl champion right there. It's hard for me not to imagine Mason Rudolph with a ring. It's hard for me not to imagine George Pickens with a ring. It's hard for me not to imagine Cam Hayward with a ring. When we're putting up 30 points against playoff contenders, the Seahawks, they're fighting desperately. I don't know if we just eliminated the Seahawks from the playoffs, but they said something about the Seahawks. They just got to win out and they'll make the playoffs. They had to win out. This is a team that's desperate. This is a team that wants to win. This is a team that needs to win. We're a team without two middle linebackers. We're a team without two safeties, playing an aggressive team, and we still were able to come away with a win. We still were able to look stellar on offense, and we still have a chance, man. And on top of all of that, too, Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season once again. I know everyone's so frustrated with it. I know a few weeks ago, man, we were cooking Mike Tomlin, but we are once again at the point where the magic has happened. Somehow, some way, turn 1 into 3. You know, somehow, some way, Mike Tomlin does it again. Another winning season. The Steelers are playing for another chance to get in the postseason next week. There's a lot of teams too next week that are already done, man. A lot of teams that they packed it in. They're looking to get that number 1 pick. You know, there's some teams too with buys. Like we're one of a few teams left with like super meaningful, impactful football left to play. And so I am excited to watch. I am excited to see what ends up happening from you know, with how the season turns out. But I'm very happy we ended the season like this if, you know, we end up not making it, because we have something here. We take Mason Rudolph out once again. You know, we don't want to kill Mason Rudolph. He's playing fantastic and he's doing his thing. He's probably going to get a good contract from either us or somebody else. But take Mason Rudolph away. Whoever decides to be the quarterback next year for the Pittsburgh Steelers, hand the ball off, man, because we are literally running like one of the best teams I've ever seen. This is literally one of the best running performances I've ever seen once again, and we've had that before in this same season, I believe, against who was it against? Maybe the Titans. I don't know. I can't remember the specific game, but I swear we've had another kind of crazy rushing game. Maybe it was the first game back with no Canada. I'm not exactly sure right now. I'm hype. I'm excited. It's New Year's Eve. Happy New Year to everybody. We ended the year with a win. We went into Christmas with a win. The Steelers showed out for the holidays, man. I know those normal Sundays, the normal Sunday games, no holidays was tough. It was no points. It was like fire Mike Tomlin. Everything was on fire. But the Steelers, they sure respected our holiday hours, man. They respected the fact that, hey, everyone's home, everyone's watching the game, everyone's going to have opinions. You know, I can't stand, this is a fun fact, I can't stand when the Steelers play on prime time sometimes, because it's like everybody's watching the game, and then people who haven't watched all the games, like they just get to have takes about the Steelers because it's on TV. That's a different point for another day. Holidays, we got it. Big Christmas W, big New Year's Eve W. Big, is Mason Rudolph back? Is he a guy? Let me know down in the comments below. Najee Harris is a GOAT. Jaylen Warren is a GOAT. George Pickens is a GOAT. And Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season. Anyways, guys, I think that is going to do it for me for this video. If you enjoyed, once again, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you're a Steelers fan, I make videos about the Steelers. So, more to come. Happy New Year's, guys. Thank you for everything in 2023. And let's go on to 2024. Peace out.